All right, hello there, math students. So today in class, you guys are working on multiplying and dividing. Actually, sorry, just multiplying rational numbers. And we're going to look at both fractions and decimals. So in case at any point during today's activity you need help and your partner doesn't know the answer and I'm not available, here's a video for you guys to reference. So this is going to cover refreshers on how to multiply fractions, but it's also going to include a refresher on our integer rules or our positive and negative rules. So let's take, for example, let's start off with a simpler problem here. We've got negative 1/2, and let's multiply that by 1/4. So the first thing I want you guys to look at here, number one, is your signs. Okay, so remember, multiplication is a little bit easier. You don't have to ask yourself which one is there more of, which one is there less of. So we can go ahead and right now at the end put our sign. So when looking at this problem, I see that I've got one negative sign and one positive sign. And knowing that a negative times a positive is a negative, I'm going to go ahead and put my sign there before I do anything else. Notice I've switched my color just to draw attention to it. Okay, now when multiplying fractions, I multiply straight across in the numerator. So 1 times 1 is 1. And I multiply straight across in the denominator. So 2 times 4 is 8. So this would be my final answer. Okay, so now let's look at a more challenging problem of what if I had an mixed number along with these problems. So I know that many of you guys are keeping the mixed numbers when you're doing adding and subtracting or multiplying. You guys absolutely 100% have to change it to an improper fraction. So let's say we've got, 2/5 times negative 1 and 2/3. So again, step one here, number one is to look at your signs. So I'm going to come over here, and this is where my answer is going to go. I'm even going to change my color to make sure that I paid attention to it. My sign is going to be negative. So over here, this is where my answer is going to go. Let's undo that. Okay, so my answer is going to come over here. I'm going to do my work down below. So my negative 2/5 is going to just stay negative 2/5. Oh, you guys are probably yelling at me at home. This is not going to be a negative sign because I have two negatives. So my answer is going to be a positive. Now, you guys don't have to put a positive sign over here because we know that positives don't need the sign, but it might help you just to remember at the end that that's my answer is going to be positive. Sorry, I got a little mix up. Hopefully you were yelling at me in class. Not very loud though, because I made a mistake. So we're going to keep negative 2/5 the same. But for our second fraction, we need to change it to an improper fraction. So I'm going to multiply and add. So we're going to ignore our negative sign here for a minute. So it's just 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So I'm multiplying it by 5/3. So again, I'm going to do 5 times 2, and I'm going to get 10 on top. And 5 times 3 is 15 on the bottom. I can divide both of those by 5. My answer is 2/3. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to write that in my final answer spot. So notice the organization to my work. I'm showing that I'm changing an improper or mixed number to an improper fraction. It's following a pattern of down and then to the right. And I even drew an arrow to show that my final answer is up here. And I circled my answer. I put it in a different color. So keep in mind that showing your work is the way to communicate your thinking. And without that, I oftentimes don't know your thinking, and I can't help you when an error has occurred. So not only do I want you guys working on showing your work, but I want you guys to work on making sure that it's organized. Okay, hopefully that helped. Make sure you're paying attention to your signs. Good luck in class today, and see me if you need help.